Hello, my name is Gabby and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, then welcome to my channel. So by the time this video goes up, it will probably be well into May, and that means we will be well into spring. So today's video is a list of books that feel like spring to me. So I'm going to do my best to explain my criteria for this list. So these are all books that I have previously read in the spring. When I look back on these books or think about them, I remember where I was and what the air around me felt like, and just the overall good memories and feelings and spring vibes associated with these books. So these aren't going to be necessarily books that take place in the spring or are spring-like or anything along those lines. These are just books that I read in the spring and make me think fondly about the spring. And with that, let's get started. And these are in alphabetical order, and the first book is Ace of Shades by Amanda Foody. So this book follows our main character after her mother disappears and she has to go to the City of Sin to try to figure out what happened there. She meets a street lord who is also going through his own problems at the moment, and they strike up an alliance to help each other figure things out. There's a lot of casinos and cabarets and mafias and gangs and all of that kind of stuff. So whenever I think about this book, it takes me back to my college where I read most of this book, I think. Specifically in one of the buildings I had class in. And at the time that I was reading this, it was always just really sunny and there were a lot of windows in the room. There was really just a lot of nice weather at the time too. My experience with this book has definitely waned over the year that I've been without it. If it wasn't for the time and the weather of which I read it, I definitely wouldn't be as excited to get back into this series as I am. And I don't know when this video is coming out, I'm recording it in advance, but that is part of my May TBR. And maybe I wouldn't be there if it wasn't for that. And the first book is Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe by Benjamin Alire Sáenz. And this book is about two boys, Aristotle and Dante, and they have a very special bond with one another. And together they help discover the truths of their lives and also discover the people that they want to be. So I think I read this book almost exactly a year ago now. I knew I was going to love it going into it, and that definitely did hold up. It was just a very cute, a very sweet story to read. And whenever I think about it, I get taken back to this place where I'm sitting on my couch in the living room and it's night and the windows are open and I can hear the crickets and the birds outside and just feel that cool spring air come into the room, which I definitely do think added to my whole experience with this book. So the next books on my list are the Christian Trilogy by Leigh Bardugo. And the first book to this is Shadow and Bone. And if you don't know what this is about, it's about our main character Alina, and she is a soldier and her regiment is about to have to cross over the Shadow Fold. And the Shadow Fold contains a bunch of darkness and monsters, and while they're crossing, Alina unleashes this magic that she didn't know she possessed and nobody else did either. And because of that, she gets an opportunity to train with the Grisha, which is the magical military force. And she encounters their mysterious leader, who is known as the Darkling. And the story just kind of goes from there. So this is not my favorite trilogy in the entire world, but it did introduce me to this world and it got me into Six of Crows and King of Scars, so I am grateful for it even though I don't really love it that much. But it also makes this list because I do have very strong memories of reading this in the springtime. It was actually during my spring break last year. I didn't do anything else but read this trilogy. I would wake up early in the morning, immediately start reading one, and then read it until my parents came home from work, and then later that night I would stay up late continuing with it. Even though it's definitely not my favorite thing in the world, I am definitely grateful for it, and I do have some fond memories with it. And the next books are Orange by Ichigo Tanaka. So this one's a little bit of a throwback because the last time I read this series was I think my junior year of high school. So in this series, our main character, she receives a letter from herself in the future. There is a new transfer student in her class and her letter begs her to watch over and take care of him and protect him from a bad future. I really love these books. We used to have a Sarah period in high school where it would just be 30 minutes of nothing. You could go to clubs or you could just stay in the room and do homework. And in the class I had in my last class for today, the teacher would be busy during that class, so he would send us off to the art room to sit there for that time period. And that is where I read the majority of this. I've always really liked that room. It was right next to a garden, and it had these big windows that just let in a ton of sunlight. and I don't have too many fond memories associated with high school, but these two books are definitely some of them. And the last books on this list are the To All the Boys I Loved Before trilogy by Jenny Han. And this book is about our main character, Lara Jean, and she keeps these love she wrote to her childhood crushes in a hat box. One day in the future, those love letters get mailed to those guys, and Lara Jean's love life really gets out of control. I adore this series as a whole. I think it's one of the cutest things I've ever read. And this is very similar to Ace of Shades, where I read it in that same building there. I think I read them around the same time as that one, actually. And I also have memories around the time of meeting up with my friend at college and just having good times with her. So these make this list because of the combination of the weather at the time and the times that I had during the spring that year, and also just a really great time reading. So that is the end of the list. Thank you all so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, and answer the question down here if you want. And hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye!